In a world where everyone is looking for your money up front, doesn't it just make sense to check out a podcast that's looking to give you something for free? Like the music for your content and free music for your film and videos? Look no further. It's the Tim Kulig Free Music Podcast. Hi guys, it's Tim Kulig with Tim Kulig Free Music. Good morning. It is Friday, November 1st, 2024, and my God, I can't believe how fast this year has gone by. So much going on, so much more still yet to do before winding things down during the holiday season. If I actually do that, that's just not in my nature. I have a jazz album published. It's already available if you follow me on Pixabay or SoundCloud. However, on streaming services and the regular places where you can pick it up and put it in your content, like on TikTok, Reels, and YouTube Shorts, that'll be available on November 5th. And a holiday album is ready to roll. That comes out on the 11th, and I'll have those tracks posted, if not this weekend, then the early part of next week, so people can start making content with those. Some experimentation there. I also have a meditation album on the horizon. So that's those are all the most immediate ones. And then, oh man, I hope I can get to all this stuff. I just have such high ambitions for finishing out the year and the 14 more songs I have to hit to break 700. So in addition to the holiday and meditation, I've got some D&D music, Middle Eastern, harp Celtic, which I've been putting off forever. Glitch, another Glitch album. I got some weird electronic stuff that I want to put out. A hung drum or hang drum, depending upon how you pronounce it. I've got an album like that in store, as well as some other experimentation, which includes like post-modern spaghetti western stuff for a D&D campaign of a good friend of mine. So lots of exciting stuff coming down the pipeline. But this episode is entitled Without Your Health, You've Got Nothing. So I just wanted to share a little journey with the audience here about how sometimes life gets in your way. You've got to take a moment and do the thing for yourself and make sure that your health comes first, because without that, you got nothing. So what am I talking about? Well, recently I had my second of two diverticulitis attacks. Now, if you don't know what diverticulitis is, it's usually something that people get as they become middle-aged and beyond. You stay on this planet long enough and your intestines get a little fatigued. And there's some genetic markers associated with it as well, but it's basically like somebody's just kind of stabbing your guts, man. It really sucks, and it messes with your digestion. It messes with just your overall feeling of well-being, and it gets right in your way. You end up having to go and get on some antibiotics and all sorts of fun stuff, and make sure you don't have some kind of infection, that kind of thing. One of the biggest culprits is not enough fiber in your diet or too much red meat. They used to think that corns, tree nuts, popcorn, that was an issue, and I know people that it is an issue for, so they kind of stay away from it because it irritates their stomach and more importantly their digestive tract. But that's not really the norm anymore. They think it's more your overall generalized diet, your physicality. You need to get out there and move around, which I thought I was doing, but it's just, man, it can put you down because that's all you can think about. So I ended up having to take a hard look and a step backwards and focus on that for the last 3 to 4 weeks. So it's kind of slowed down my productivity, which is always an issue for me, especially with these ambitious goals that I have. But I mean, you can't be ambitious with this stuff if you don't have your health in front of you and you're not feeling well. You know, anybody that's listening to this probably has had the flu or, you know, a nasty head cold or whatever. You just can't, I mean, you're in a fog no matter what. So it's super important to make sure that whatever your ambitions are and whatever you're doing in life, that you don't put that stuff to the side and you don't ignore the warning signs. Like, you know, you start feeling like you got some kind of irritation or you got something coming down, like take the time to rest, man. Take the time to focus on your health, because honestly, you won't be able to do the good stuff that you need. And it just tells you, it's your body telling you that you're trying to do too much and you're not giving yourself the breadth and the pause that it needs to recover. So, I mean, one thing I recommend is, you know, regular blood work. Even younger, some of my younger audience here, you never know, you know, if you have a high cholesterol diet or you just have these genetic markers and stuff that predispose you to certain things, you know, high blood pressure and that kind of thing. And there's nothing more important than moving your body. Like, it's real easy in this modern world where, I mean, yeah, I've got a studio at home. I work from home. And it's real easy for me to go 2, 3, 4 hours without moving very much. So I force myself as often as I can to do music review outside of the studio, not only because it's another way of listening to the music and a better perspective. I listen to my earbuds or in my car or on a bike ride or something like that. But it's so important to get up and move. And it's a great opportunity because I get to double my efforts. I'm exercising and I'm doing some music review, and I can easily take some notes while I'm out there doing stuff. So super, super important. Even walking. You don't have to be, you know, you don't have to be, what is it? Usain Bolt out there and like breaking land speed records or anything. It's not that important. Just moving your body is what is important. And this is one place that I just don't focus, like, you know, weights 2 to 4 times a week. I absolutely starting this week back to basics here and just get some muscle mass back and everything else. I mean, as you age, man, I'm almost 50, which, whew, man, half a century journey on this planet. I want another 50. I want at least another 50. So when your body screams at you, you gotta respond. You gotta respond. So, I mean, why is this so important? Well, it's because of the road to 700 songs. That's why. I mean, shit. It's, you know, so far it's been an incredible journey. You told me this like 4 or 5 years ago, and I've probably said this on previous podcasts. I tell you, you're nuts. Now I'm like, geez, 1,000 is within reach. How quickly can I get to 2 and make that growth and get it in people's faces? That's the hardest part right now, is just getting it into the eyes and ears of the people that I want to be able to use it. So I'm doing more and more outreach now where I'm tapping and interacting with other creators and really getting their feedback on what stuff that I produce they like and they resonate with, and what stuff that they don't as much and why that is, and get that feedback and get a feeling of like, okay, this is kind of a trending sound and a trending feel and vibe that people are looking for, as opposed to, this is fun for me. I may still do this particular thing for myself, but knowing that it won't be used as much, I'll probably prioritize the styles and things that people are using, because I really want to be, like I said, I want to be very industrious in that way, and you know, a utility to people that are out there creating content. And recently I did some excuse me, I did some cyberpunk music that I really, really dug. And I just, man, every time I dive into a new style, it just creates some really memorable new feelings and new expressions of who I am musically. So very, very cool. You know, again, still committed to the Creative Commons ideal, and make sure that the audience knows that, you know, it's usable for for free with attribution. And man, ever since I took that step in this journey, there's so much more I've been able to share with people because of that breakdown of that paywall. And the royalties are really starting to kick up. So it's a long game. Anybody out there that might be listening to this that's also a musician that's like, it feels like it's going to take forever. It's like, well, first and foremost, the idea behind creating and distributing and publishing your music is that you're expressing yourself artistically, and that's really the most important thing, first and foremost. So get it out of your head that you're going to make this sudden pile of money. That ideal is kind of long gone. The days of there's still people that are engineered from the beginning, but that comes with a price. You have a specific sound and a specific, genre or journey that some marketing and representation agency is looking for. And you ultimately can't express yourself fully the way you want to. I mean, in some cases there might be that, but quite honestly, the stuff that you hear on the radio, it's all designed to generate a very similar feeling and to generate as much money as possible, which is why quite often you get those comments from people that are like, well, I can't tell what singer that is or what band this is because they quote unquote all sound the same, right? So they're using a similar formula that they know works, and you don't get novel in, music and creativity in that way. You get some cool songs, don't get me wrong. There's some pop tunes and some mainstream tunes that are pretty on point. But more often than not, if you want that fringe band or fringe music, that really the kind of music that the first couple of times you hear it, you're like, dude, I don't know if I like this. I really don't. And then after a week of vibing on it, you're like, this is all I can listen to. Like the day of those bands, that's a lot harder to find. I used to find that on college radio stations or through word of mouth where somebody's like, dude, you hear this new band? It's amazing. It's not as much the norm anymore, and people just don't take risk. It's just like in the movies. People don't take the risk like they used to. Because, the tail end of that is, my God, you could lose a ton of money. So, just the thing I've been dealing with the health and the music combo is just in health, music, it's about persistence, regular work, self-assessment. You do the same thing with your health. You got to make sure that you're focused on what you're doing for yourself and your body, and that you're present with that. But you also have to do it with your music. You have to. To me, it's a form of self-care and wellness. If I'm not expressing myself, I feel stagnant and I feel just awful. Just bleh, I think if you've got any ounce of creativity in your bones out there, it's important to incorporate that as a regular part of your daily regimen. Just really, even if you sit down for 5 or 15 minutes a day before you're commuting to work or during your lunch break or after work or just before you go to bed, write down if you're a writer, write down some ideas. If you're a painter, maybe put a few strokes on a canvas that you've been working on, all that stuff. It's so important to stay creative. And if that's your career and that's what you do, all the better. Make sure that you're doing stuff that's not just commission based or not just for somebody else's vision. Make sure you're doing things yourself to create in your own way and to explore yourself creatively so that you can become a better person for the other projects that you're doing for others, and also just a better person in general. I mean, the journey, this is you versus you, man. The journey is you. So make sure you're focusing and putting yourself first. And that's not selfish. It's not selfish. If you're not your best you can't help other people. So make sure you're doing that for yourself. And that it really comes back to encouraging you guys to make sure that your health is a priority and it's important to you. If you feel like you should be losing some weight, take take the time to do a little research and figure out portioning, figure out if you've got like a genetic thing that's causing you some strife, or maybe you just have some ingrained habits that over the years have become the norm that are pushing back on the ultimate goals that you have and of wellness and physicality and everything else. So sometimes we just have to revisit those things and break those patterns. And I invite you guys, if you haven't already and you haven't been following this on some of my other socials, make sure that you find me on Facebook or Instagram and my YouTube channel. YouTube channel is going to have more of my archive on there, so you can listen to the tunes and get pointed to where you can download them and everything. I've got about half a dozen of the albums up there, but it's really working out in the sense that there's more and more space for me to have the ability to share with you and show you everything that's going on, everything I'm trying to create, and putting it into these different social media platforms has really kind of expanded the ability for me to get it in people's faces. This coming year, the advertising is going to be focused on the new website, which is really, really going to enhance people's ability to grab things and drop them into place. Really good players on there, very intuitive download of both the attribution language and the actual individual tracks. So I'm really excited about this. I feel like it's been a long time coming. It's something that I've been meaning to do over the last few years, and the developers I have helped me out with it are fantastic. So I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to enhance, again, that creator end user relationship that I've been wanting to really encourage. And then that the site itself is going to have a nice little blog on it too. Not that the original one didn't, but it's going to be much more fully integrated, and I'm excited to see what's going to come. So again, to leave you guys all with some positive vibes here, man, without your health, you got nothing. Please make sure that you're taking care of yourself, or the universe and your body will force you to do so. So take the time, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, everything that we do here, man, the jobs we have, some of the other responsibilities and reliable, things that people are reliable on us for, they don't mean anything if your health is in the toilet. So take your time, do the thing, make sure you're healthy, and get back into whatever it is that you're passionate about, and make your dreams a reality. But every once in a while, you got to go to sleepy time dream world to recover and let your body heal, because, this is a rough ride sometimes. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. Again, I hope you're all healthy, happy, and whole, and you're doing the thing that makes you happy and that you're passionate about. Thanks for stopping in and listening to Tim Kulik Free Music. Lots more to come. Hope you continue on and follow me in this journey, and I'll see you next time. Take care.